Hello, today I'm reading chapter 26 of Out of Touch Out of Time, Ray X Female Listener. I hope you enjoy. Chapter 26, Let's Burn the House Down. Days and weeks passed by. Emma sat outside under the tree every day at free time alone. She looked miserable. Her eyes looked tired and her usual energy was drained. But in the meantime, you and Ray stayed inside in the library researching to find hidden codes or stories. You didn't want to give up all hope just yet. Maybe something would be hidden in the pages of these books. There had to be something. Ray, there has to be something, you say, closing your eyes. There's no use, Yasmin. All we can do is give up. There's no more hope. Ray sighed, throwing the book in his hand onto his table. We can't give up. Norman's gone. Emma stopped trying and I have too. All we can do is wait. The clock is ticking for the next shipment. But you worked so hard for freedom. You want to throw that all away? I know Emma's given up and Norman's gone. But there has to be some way for hope, and we just have to figure it out, you say with a small spark of motivation in your eyes. Ray looked up at you and sighed. If there was a way, I'd probably have tried it already by now. Let's not fight this. For the last few weeks of living here, I just want to remember it being well. Can we just pretend at least? Ray asked. You dropped your book on the table beside you. I'm sorry everything has to be like this. What did we do to deserve this? Your voice began shaky as tears formed in your eyes. You hugged the raven-haired boy tightly. Ray closed his eyes and leaned his head against your shoulder. For the last few weeks, they sat on the floor and enjoyed each other's company, while it lasted. The last person Ray wanted to be with before he died was his best friend. Eventually, it turned the night of January 14th. Ray was sitting in the library with you, who was now asleep peacefully. He looked down at the girl and smiled weakly before he got up and walked to the boy's bedroom. He grabbed a box from behind his bed and made his way to the dining hall. He sat on the table humming a lullaby he knew his whole life, waiting for the clock to strike midnight. Yasmin, wake up, Emma whispered loudly, shaking the girl. What are you doing, Emma? Where's Ray? You ask with a yawn, standing up, only to be dragged by Emma to the dining hall. The two girls walked into the hall. Ray sat on the table, looking at their shadows through the door. Why did you wake up, Yasmin? Ray asked bluntly. Emma ignored the question completely. I've been thinking this whole time, what should I do for Norman's sake? And the answer was to do nothing, Emma said as Ray stared at the girl, not amused at all. Mom told me to free myself from the pain, but I will never, ever give up. I won't let Norman's death be in vain. Will you, Ray? Emma asked. Emma, where are you going with this? You ask, rubbing your eyes. Emma put her hand on your shoulder. Just trust me. Ray sighed and jumped off the table. Seems like Emma and I are on the same page then, he asked, crossing his arms. Let's run away. I came to talk about that, Emma said. I wanted to talk about that with you too. The past 2 months, I've barely talked to anyone except Yasmin. Since we've always been together since kids, it wasn't a big communication deal for Mom to worry about. She's also the last person I wanted to spend my last weeks with. Ray said. You lowered your head in sadness as Emma began to speak. Yeah, I didn't want Mom finding out our true intentions, so I stayed quiet, Emma said. True intentions? Ray asked. Right. Mom's really cautious. Even though the three of us weren't doing anything, she still kept an eye on us, but that's something we can use against her. If she stays focused on me, I can keep her eyes away from the other kids, Emma said. Like Dawn and Gilda? You ask. Yeah, I left them in charge. They're training the other kids and making preparations, Emma said. How far along are you? Ray asked. We are all ready. Supplies, food, warm clothes, Emma said. Your eyes widened. You've been planning this whole time? You asked as Emma nodded. We can leave whenever, Emma said. That's impressive, but how will you escape? Ray asked. Oh, don't worry. I've planned it all. Let's escape tomorrow morning before you get shipped out. Ray put his hands up. Hold it. It's reckless to go outside during daylight. Lots of things are different than before. The escape should be at night. But just hear me out. You should both sit down. Okay, there's two problems here. First, Mom has watchful eyes. She's always watching us, and she always keeps the younger ones close. During the night, the babies are sleeping in her room. In order to make sure everyone escapes, we have to shake off Mom. We have to separate her from the little ones. Ray said as you and Emma both nod. What about the wall and the cliff? We can't climb down from it, you ask. If we're escaping, we have to use the bridge. It's the only way. I'm sure there's security there to begin with, and once they find out we escaped, the guards will rush over. Plus, it's by headquarters, Ray said. There's probably a lot of demons there too, you added. So, what are you gonna do? I think this is the best answer, Ray said, standing up and walking towards a cardboard box he had on the table beside him. Emma and you looked inside the box. Oil? You asked, confused. At night, we will light the house on fire. You gasp. You're gonna start a fire? You ask, worried. Yes. While Mom's distracted putting out the fire, we can lead everyone outside saying it's an evacuation. If we seal the secret door, Mom can't notify headquarters, and they'll just think it's a fire, not an escape. Then security won't go towards the bridge. That's when everyone will escape through it, Ray said as the two girls stood there in shock. I also hid 10 Molotovs behind some rocks in the forest. He continued. Huh? You did what? You asked loudly. Don't underestimate my years of preparation. Throw those into the neighboring plants. If all that goes well, then the security will be even lighter, Ray said as he took a can into his hand. Since it's nighttime, nobody will be in the forest. Nobody will die. Instead of running away tomorrow, let's do it right now, he said, staring at the two girls. You do it? He asked them. Emma's expression turned worried for a moment. Don't worry. This place is furthest away from the bedrooms. They can escape before the fire gets to them. You guys have trained them to run in formations in tag, haven't you? Or is your arm and leg still broken? Ray asked, looking at the cast. No, actually, it's all right, you said, taking off your sling. Same with my leg, Emma said before slamming her foot on the floor. Then it's decided, Ray said, opening the can he held in his hand. Ray, you said, staring at the can. You know, Yasmin, Emma, to tell you the truth, I'm still against taking everyone on the escape, Ray said as he poured the liquid onto the floor around him. Especially after hearing there's a cliff beyond those walls. Even if you guys do take others, it should only be Dawn and Gilda, Ray said with a gloom expression as he opened another can. You should at least leave the babies behind, for their sake and yours too. But, you started. I know you won't listen to me either way, Yasmin. I know when you make the plan, you're very strong with it. So I am, he said before pouring more oil onto the floor. Actually, the thing I'm worried about the most is what if Mom just abandons the building when the fire starts, Emma said. Yeah, she might end up giving up on putting out the fires. She would refuse to take her eyes off the products, you added. You realized, huh? Ray asked. There's a really good possibility of that happening. That's why just starting a fire won't be enough. If we don't stop Mom, then we don't have a chance of escaping from her. But don't worry, I've got this," Ray said, taking off the lid of a can. "What?" you said, staring at the boy. Ray opened the can and let the oil spill onto his hair and on his clothes. Emma and you were lost for words. "Ray, what are you doing?" you yell, walking closer to the boy. Ray put his hand out to stop her from walking any closer. "Isn't it the best? The perfect scorer set to be shipped out will be burned at his shipment day. Mom won't abandon me. She can't. I've been waiting for this day. I've decided this a long time ago, many years ago." "It's a childish retaliation," Ray said with a scary smirk plastered on his face. "You know what, Yasmin and Emma? I was never interested in studying or reading, but I endured it to work hard, to raise my value, the highest it could possibly be. 16 years. I'm the feast they've been waiting for. And tonight, I will take it all away from them. Right before the harvest they've been anticipating." Ray shouted. You just stood there with wide eyes. Emma stood there, pale as a ghost. "Don't think you can eat me. Don't think you can serve me. Food, merchandise, I don't care at all. I'm a human being. Serves them right," he demanded with a smirk. "Ray," you said with your eyes filled with tears. "Besides, this is how it has to be. This is the best way. I've watched my family die all these years. I've used them. And they were all good kids. They were all so kind," Ray said as he stared at the floor. "Wait," Emma said. "None of you move. Listen, Yasmin, Emma. You only have one chance, so don't blow it. Make this work. Please don't let me or Norman die in vain," he said quietly. He looked up at you for a moment before picking up a book on the table. "Catch," he said as you grabbed it. You opened it to reveal all the pictures he took on his camera. One of you and the small children making flower crowns, one of Emma, you, and Norman, and one of you playing with the small children outside. At the side of the book was a now crinkled flower crown you made for him, and the picture you drew of the four of them when you were younger. "You kept this?" you asked with your eyes filling with tears. "It's the least I could do. You made my life less miserable. You always cheered me up when I was at my lowest. You cared for me and opened my heart. That's why I love..." Ray was interrupted by the clock on the wall chiming. "That's it. I'm finally 16. It was a life I wanted out of, but you two and Norman made it worth its while. Thank you, Yasmin. Goodbye," he said, keeping his eyes on the girl as he dropped the match. The last thing he ever wanted to see was that girl he spent every day with. The one person who truly made him happy. The one person he would truly do anything for. And the one person he ever truly loved. "No!" Emma and you yelled. You jumped forward and pulled Ray into a tight hug. The two fell to the floor while Emma leaped and grabbed the match before it fell. Emma took a deep breath out of relief. "Nice catch, huh?" smirked the orange-haired girl as Ray helped Yasmin to her feet. "What are you guys doing?" he asked in shock. "Sorry, but I'm not gonna let you die here. Neither are the other kids," Emma said. "Wait, the other kids?" Ray asked, confused. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Okay, thank you for watching today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever. Love you guys so much. Goodbye.